Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to Inventory Management Portal. This is Raza and today I am going to tell you about one of the new things in our project, that is suppliers. Of course, when we are dealing with inventory, we are purchasing something from the suppliers. So we do have the suppliers inside our project. For that purpose, we have to create a table for suppliers and all the necessary stored procedures. So in today's lecture, we are going to see how can we do this and achieve this task. And apart from this, we'll also see some of the tweaks or some of the changes that I have done already, and we'll also see the connection of the user C.R.U.D with the admin dashboard also, just like we have done for the roles drop down. So let's start and have a look what we have today. Alright guys, so you see this is the window that we have worked on in the previous lecture, but you see the text boxes are a little bit smaller than we have created. So this is the slight change that I have done inside this view, and I have also make the buttons smaller in order to make a good UI. Okay, I'll do changes time to time later on. So let me show you what classes I have used in order to reduce the size of these text boxes, or the controls that I have, and the buttons that I have used, and the table that I have used. So let me show you that. First of all, the table that you are looking at here inside on this page, I have used this call size 11 and offset is 1. That's it. Okay, but the other things that I have done here is I have added a new class, that is form control SM. SM means small. Okay, by default the size was a little bit larger than the current size, so that's why I have used this SM class in order to make the size a little bit smaller, and it can be eye catching or the user attraction gaining UI. Okay, later on I'll change this UI again, but till this point we'll work up till this. Okay, so you see when I click on the edit button, I have to change these text boxes here as well. That means this class should be added here also. So let me do that. I'll just have to copy this one, and when I am clicking on the edit button, you know already that this function is being called, so here I have to do the same. So I have to make the call size call and offset is 1, and the thing that I have to do here is input class form control, and here I have to paste the form SM, and then I have to paste here also, and the last thing is this one. Okay, paste and save. Then at this point we have, wherever you find these things you have to change. Okay, so button, and now let's go for the button and see what I have added for the button. So these are my buttons, so let me copy that and I have to add it here. So input type equal to submit, that is added button, and now remove this info and paste. Okay, button primary. Similarly, instead of info, paste again, and here paste again. So you have to transform everything once. This is the little addition that I am changing. Update value. Okay, so here also, and here, and btn info here. Okay, and that's it. Let's try and check what's the output. Chrome, view, Bilal, edit. Now you see the things are better, but still two text boxes are remaining. Okay, so I have to change these text boxes also, username and password. Okay, let's go there and try to change username and password. For that, let's copy the text box. Here we have to write form control SM, so copy this one and paste, and here user text box and paste. Okay, and I think I have done. So let's check it now. View, edit. So you see now all the text boxes are in same size. Now we have to manage the space that these buttons should come on one line. Okay, but right now I have to go further. We'll redesign, we will be designing these things time to time, but let's go and start MySQL and create the table for suppliers. Right, that's my MySQL, PHP MyAdmin. Click on the SQL. I have already selected the inventory DB database by clicking on my database name, and now I have to write the query for suppliers. So create table suppliers, come inside the table, supplier underscore ID, it can be integer, not null, auto increment, primary key, supplier underscore name, that should be variable character 30, or you can take 50 if there is a long name. Okay, and it should be unique. You cannot add two same suppliers at a time. Okay, this you have to do this for your username table as well. Okay, so that no two same usernames can be added. So supplier underscore phone, variable character 15, not null, and supplier underscore address, variable character and 100, not null. That's it. Okay, and one more thing that you can add is supplier status. That means the supplier is active or not. Okay, so it's your choice how you do and see the things. Let's add till these columns. So let's click on the go button. Okay, it's saying that syntax is not correct. Okay, I have to write here primary key. Now it's fine. Let's click on the go button. Okay, table has been successfully created. Now select this table and create 4 stored procedures. So let's zoom in, remove this delimiter, / delimiter, semicolon, come inside, create procedure, st underscore insert suppliers, begin, end. Okay, now let's copy this so that we cannot be able to write it again. Inside this, let's write our original query, insert into, and then we have to write the name of the table, that is suppliers in this case, and then the column names are supplier underscore ID is the auto increment, so supplier name, then we have to get the supplier phone, and then we have to get the supplier address, 3 things, and then the values. But here how can I pass the values? Via parameters. So the first thing that I wanted to pass is the name, that was varchar 30, and then we have the supplier phone. So let's pick up phone as a parameter, and its data type was varchar 15, and supplier address, so ADDR, and its data type was varchar 100. Now come inside and pass these parameters as name, comma, and then we have phone, and then we have ADDR. Okay, so respectively I have passed everything to my insert query. Now let's execute this stored procedure. Okay, it said that expected delimiter. Okay, let's try to give a space and click on the go button. Now you see it said that the insert supplier already exists. So that's a little bug, no problem, but you see when I open these stored procedures, you see insert supplier is already now created. Okay, so that is the thing that you might experience. Now let's try to add another stored procedure for update. So let's remove this, and instead of insert, let's make it update supplier, and for updation I need to pass one thing more, that is ID and integer. Here I'll write update, and the table name was suppliers, set, and then the column name is sup underscore name equals to name, that is the parameter, comma sup, let me zoom in, now you can see it properly. Okay, sup underscore phone is equals to phone, and comma sup underscore address is equals to addr, where sup underscore id is equals to id. Okay, so that's my stored procedure for update. Now I wanted to execute this, and let's execute. Now you see the stored procedure executed successfully without any syntactical errors. So you can run it more than twice, then you will get to know whether the stored procedure is there or not. Now let's go back, edit inline and increase the width and add another stored procedure for deletion. So let me zoom in again and delete supplier. Delete supplier, but in this time we don't need anything instead of ID, so that's it. And here let's remove this and write delete from, and the table name was suppliers, where supplier ID equals to ID. Okay, now let's try to execute this directly without delimiters and see what will happen. You see it shows me the syntactical error. Okay, let's add delimiters. So what we have to write here, delimiter / and / delimiter and semicolon. Now execute it. You see commands completed successfully. Now let's go back and try to add another query, that is the retrieval of the suppliers. So again paste the delimiter syntax and write here get suppliers, and inside the begin and end select from suppliers s, and give here s dot id as id, the alias, then s dot name, supplier underscore name as, let me zoom in and write here supplier, then comma, come down and sub dot s dot supplier phone as phone, and s dot address as address. Okay, so these are my suppliers, and now I can make them order by s dot name ascending. Okay, that's it. So let's copy and execute. Okay, it's saying that there is a problem. What's the problem? Let's execute it again. Okay, semicolon I have missed, and here I have to give space. Now execute. Okay, still again execute. It's saying that there is a problem still. Okay, yes, this is the problem. I haven't specified the round brackets. Now let's click. Now you see commands completed successfully. So stored procedures I have created all. Now let's go back and create a new page for suppliers. And also before going to suppliers, we have to call this users page inside my admin dashboard. So what I am doing right now, find wherever you have applied the form tag, see those places and add a hidden field. Let me add before closing the form. Input type equals to hidden value equals to 2, because in the roles drop down I have given value 1 in the hidden field, so this time the value is 2 and the name of this hidden field is ID. Okay, save. Okay, now the next thing is, let's copy this hidden field and paste it inside another form tag, that is this one. After this, let's echo double quotes semicolon paste and single quotes. Okay, so wherever you find this hidden value, you have to add it, or sorry, inside the form you have to add it. Let's copy this, and where else we have the form tag. Okay, here we have the form tag, so inside the form tag I am specifying this hidden field. Okay, and yes, that's it. Now what we have to do, when we reach to the dashboard DB or admin DB, let us select that, admin DB dashboard. Here I have written something, you can see whether the method is the get or method is the post. Okay, we have to pass the ID. So for users I have done already that. Let me show you that. You can see when the page ID is 2, we have to go to user C.R.U.D. Okay, when the page ID is 1, then we have to go to the role C.R.U.D. Okay, let's try to run this. Okay, so username is, let's write Bilal and 1 2 3 4 5, login, roles, you see roles are there, and then users. But see here the notice also coming, we have to remove that notice because session has been already started, but the navigation is going on. We'll cover that later on, but the navigation is there. Now we have to create the suppliers table, suppliers page, and similarly we have to assign that. And you see on line number 107 I have to remove the session because the session has been already started. So let's go to line number 107 on the admin DB, line 107. Here the session start. Let's comment it out because it's not required at all. Let's see what's the output now. Okay, we have logged in, roles, users. Now you see, okay, and now in line number 143 it's saying the session is already started, so we have to ignore on line number 143. So let's go back in which what is the file, user C.R.U.D, line number 143. So let's go to the user C.R.U.D and line number 143. Here I don't want to start the session because it is already started somewhere. Okay, save and come here and now refresh. You see now everything is working fine. When I view, the data is loading. When I select on the roles, when I click on the view, so the UI is now smooth, simple. When I click on supplier, then supplier should be displayed. I hope it is clear up till now. The reason why I have removed the session underscore start or comments, because in one PHP page you should write the session underscore start only once. Okay, you don't have to write the session underscore start again and again, because when session starts for the first time it will remain started until unless your page is open. Simple. When the page terminates, then the session will be terminated, or you have to unset intentionally. I hope it is clear. Okay, when I press the logout button, then I should unset the session. Now let's go back and start the suppliers page. So file, new, PHP, HTML5, create. Save this page with the name suppliers, C.R.U.D, and it should be double P, and save. Okay, supplier management. Supplier management. Okay, now I am going to pause the video and I'll design the rest of the HTML, because we know how to write HTML and how to write text boxes and how to apply bootstraps. So to save your time and the length of the video, I'm pausing, and then I'll come back after creating the design. Alright guys, so you can see now I have created a simple UI, but you see I have changed the font. Okay, I have changed the font from the default bootstrap font to my font, that is Segoe UI Lite. And let me show you what I have done. This is the complete overall code that I have written since I have paused. So you see the CSS is there, the bootstrap is there. One thing additionally I have done is I have specified in the body a custom style, my own font. It is not necessary to use the bootstrap font. Okay, so because I am teaching you how to create a web, so that's why I am doing these experiments. Now you see the rest of the things are the same. Now let's go back and do the rest of the work, PHP. So when the PHP markers are there, let's apply if isSet and write the $_post double quotes, and the button name is save btn. Let me write here btn, not text. The naming convention should be appropriate, and view btn. Now if save btn is set, then come inside and do the validation, but let's pick up the things first by specifying the validation. So validation is not available, so let's include validate.php. Now you see we have the validate function already, and the data that is coming from $_post, and then we have to add here the name txt, round brackets open close, come inside, only close and then semicolon. Then we have phone equals to same code but different post, that is phone txt, and then we have address equals to paste, and we have to write here addr, complete address, copy and paste. After that, let's add a condition also after validation. If not empty, what is not empty? Name, and logical AND operator, not empty, $phone, okay, and then let's add not empty again. If these three things are there, then we have to add inside the database. So not empty address. Now come in the body of the if. So first of all, instead of these, if I put this code inside this, then it will be better. Okay, that when somebody tries to click the save button, it should check for this thing. Okay, if name is not empty, then phone is not empty, then address is not empty. If these three things are not empty, then come inside, okay, and validate them again. Now validate, first check for the emptiness and then validate, okay, whether the inputs are correct or not. So copy again and paste it, and this also. So validation success. Now let's add connection. So include connection.php, but let's go into the C.R.U.D operation file also. Let's include that. So include C.R.U.D.php. These are my files that I have already created, so I don't want to write it again. So C.R.U.D. So you see inside the C.R.U.D I have already the connection, so I don't need the connection at all. Okay, what I can do, I can go back and remove this connection from here. Simple. Okay, unnecessary includes are not required. Now the next thing is, let's call the function insert update delete, but it asks for the procedure for insertion. Let's go back to the MySQL and insert supplier. Click on this, copy, and then paste here, insert supplier. Okay, now the next thing it asks me the array, why I am passing my parameters. So let's create an array. $arr is equals to array, and first thing that I am going to pass is name. The second thing that I am going to pass is phone, and then the address. That's it. So that's my array. Now I'll pass this array here as a parameter, and then the message, that is supplier added. You can give the name like $name added successfully. That's it. And close the bracket of the function. Because this function is returning the message, let's create a dollar variable, that is msg equals to, now that's fine. So when the successful insertion has been done, the message will be returned and stored inside msg, and then what we can do, we can simply display it in a p tag echo. Let us copy from the user C.R.U.D to save time. You see we have this. Okay, so copy and go back to the suppliers and paste there. Okay, so whatever the message will be, it will be displayed. Else, and we have to paste the text again, but this time we have to show the error message, just like we have displayed the error message in the user C.R.U.D. But you see here, please select any data. So I don't want to select any data right now, so I am ignoring this. Now when the data has been successfully submitted, we have to create a retrieve function inside the supplier C.R.U.D. So let's create retrieve function. So where I have to create, here I can create retrieve function. So function retrieve and come inside. And now what I wanted to do inside the retrieve function, let me copy the code from retrieve function from user C.R.U.D. Here is the code. Okay, so you see I have called the connection, and all the code that is here I have to copy and paste, but for your understanding I am writing it again. Copy and paste is easier for me, but I am writing it again so that if somebody haven't understood yet, he can be able to understand, or she can be able to understand. Okay, so what I wanted to do, I wanted to create the connection first. So instead of calling here, we can call here include connection dot php, save, come here and give a global scope to the $con. Now just check it whether the connection is succeeding or not. So con, and here echo yes, else echo no. Let's call this function when the page loads. So function name is retrieve. Let's check whether it is working or not. It should return yes. You see yes is there. Okay, that means connection is succeeded. Let's remove this retrieve from here, and let's remove this yes and this no. Now after this we have to write a query. So $query is equals to call, and then the procedure name. So the procedure name was, let me show you, close this, get suppliers. So let's select the get suppliers, where we have the get suppliers. I think we haven't created that. We have created. Okay, I have refreshed the page. You see now I have get suppliers. Let's copy and paste it, and round brackets and semicolon if you wish to, otherwise it's not necessary. Now $res is the result variable. And now let's execute the query, mysqli underscore query and dollar connection comma dollar query. Okay, and then close. Now if mysqli underscore num underscore rows, and then here I have to pass my result greater than 0, that means if you have the suppliers, else just copy this line, sorry, cut this line and paste it here and give here a message no suppliers available. Save. And then here I have to apply a while loop because there are so many suppliers and maybe so many suppliers. So $raw for getting one row at a time, mysqli underscore fetch underscore raw round bracket open close $res. Now we have to create a table. For that purpose, let's come here and echo, let's add form tag action equals to blank, method equals to post, and let's close the form tag, close. Now the table tag echo table class equals to table dash active, and whatever you wanted to apply you can. Okay. One more thing that I have to add here is to close the table, because I have opened the table after form, so it will close before form. Okay, so table open, table close, form open, form close. The representation should be perfect. Now one more thing that I have to add here is the div after form. So division class equals to call size 8 offset 2, and close this after table echo and div close. Okay, now the next thing is to add the headings. So echo, and headings should be inside t head, copy and paste table head close, and then we have to add here table headings th close, that should be id, copy this, paste and paste and paste. After id we have to pass the name, then we have phone, and then we have address. That's it. Save. Now the next thing is to load the records. For that purpose, let's add an echo tag and write here t body and copy and paste and t body close, table body means, and here you have to apply td now, but within echo close semicolon td. Now here I have to pass $raw of 0, that means the id, copy this one and paste it, raw equals to 1, paste again 2. So let me show you the columns 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so we have to go till 3, so we have reached 2, now let's 3. Then we have to display the buttons. Okay, so let's paste again, and instead of these let's add input type equals to submit and value equals to edit, name equals to edit btn and close. Value name given, yes, class is there, class equals to btn, btn dash primary and btn dash sm. So a small button will be created. Now once you have created this edit button, let's copy and paste it here in below, besides this, and this would be my update btn, and the value should be update, and the last is the delete btn. So paste again, value should be delete, and here we have to change the name from edit to delete btn. So update btn, delete btn and edit btn. These buttons have successfully created. Now because we know already, now I am doing the quick task. I am not showing the id as id, instead I will show the id as the radio button. Okay, for that purpose I am doing here input type equals to id rb, value equals to raw of, that means I am storing the id in the radio button. Name I have this should be name, type equals to radio and it should be name. Now that's fine. Okay, so my retrieve function has been successfully created. The next step is we have to call another function or create another function, that is retrieve for edit. So copy and paste and give here the name retrieve for edit. So when somebody click on the edit button, what will happen? We have to create the session. So let's come here and write else if, come inside, copy, paste and paste. So you see, when somebody tries to save, click on the save button, copy, then we have the view btn. So when somebody click on the view btn, retrieve function should called, save and copy. When somebody tries to click the edit btn, and when somebody tries to click the update btn, and when somebody tries to click the delete btn, let's copy this if else if and paste. So here we write the delete btn. I hope it is clear up till now. So save and view are complete. Now when somebody tries to click edit button, what should happen? We have to check if is set $_post, and here I will write id rb, that was my radio button. So if the radio button is there, is set, then come inside else, come here and go back to the user C.R.U.D and copy that error message. Please select any user first. Okay, so let me pick up that. Okay, please select any user first. Let's copy this message, come here in the supplier C.R.U.D and paste. That's it. So if the ID is set, then simply what you have to do, we have to create a session. I am not starting session, but session starting is mandatory. Okay, but I am not starting in this case because we have already started session somewhere in the other includes. Okay, so let's see whether it give error or not. So $_session, and the session name is, let's say, ID. What session name I have given in the previous user C.R.U.D? Let me see that. So in the edit button, I have created the session, delete, save. Where is the edit button? Okay, user ID. So I am now creating a session with the name supplier ID. Okay, let's go and create supplier ID, the session name, and the ID is in $_post, and come here and give the ID RB. Now After session ID, what we have to do? We have to call the function that is retrieve for edit. Okay, after setting the session, we have called retrieve for edit. Now inside retrieve for edit, let's go and change retrieve for edit. Here we have retrieve for edit, and let's come inside the while loop and specify the if condition. If $_session, let's take the value here $_session of supplier ID is equals to $raw of 0. That means if the ID in the loop matches the session value, then come inside, else do something else. So if the supplier ID matched, just copy this and just copy this thing and paste it here, and cut this thing again and paste it here. Okay, so if the ID matches, then what we have to do, we have to show this checkbox, radio button as checked, and we have to convert this raw into the text box. So input type equals to text, name equals to name txt, value equals to raw of 1, close, class equals to form dash control dash sm. So copy this text box, the name txt, and paste here at raw 2, paste, and here instead of name text we have to write phone text, and it should be raw 2. And now same is the case for raw 3, so remove raw 3 and paste and change to raw 3, and here we have to write address txt. Okay, and the rest of the things remains the same. Save. So that's my retrieve for edit. So when somebody tries to click on the edit button, we will go to the edit mode. Now when we reach to the edit mode, now the next step is we have to update the record. So for updation of the record, let's copy the same and paste, but this time we don't need the session, we need only the ID. So $supplier ID is equals to $_post, and then here we have to write ID RB, the radio button, and then we have to call the procedure, that is insert, the function insert update delete, and the procedure for update is, let me show you that, update suppliers. Here we have copy, and now I have to pass these 4 parameters: update supplier in double quotes, then the array $arr, I will pass new values to this array, and then the message, that is $name updated successfully. Okay, now close this and let's add variable name again, or utilize that name again, and pass the values $_post, and then we have to write the same thing. We can use this thing. Okay, copy or let's copy this whole like this, copy, and come inside the update button, and here we have to paste and indent. Now you see supplier ID, if the name text is not empty, phone text is not empty, then come inside and validate these text boxes again, and then the array is there also, name, address, ADDR, but the thing that I have to change here is the procedure name, and here I can write updated successfully, and the message should be displayed. Otherwise you can show the message, any message that you wish to. I hope it is clear up till now. So that's update. Now the last thing is the delete. So let's copy this if and paste and come here. If the ID is set, then what we have to do, we have to call the stored procedure function, that is insert underscore update underscore delete, and the procedure for deletion is, let us select delete supplier, copy and paste, and again the array, but we don't need to pass everything here. So let's create the array and reinitialize it with one value, that is the ID. So let us pass dollar underscore post and ID RB. Okay, we have taken the ID inside the array, and now pass the array here, and then the message, that is dollar or data deleted successfully, that's it, and then close semicolon. And once the data has been successfully deleted, we have to display, copy, paste and copy and paste, so the message will be displayed. And then we have to call the retrieve function, so retrieve and semicolon, save. After deletion this should be displayed, and after updation this should be displayed. Okay, so after delete, after insertion, let us see whether we have displayed or not. So when the data is successfully inserted, we have to display the record, again retrieve. So this is how I am reusing the code again and again. From my side, I think I have done all the things, but there can be the chances of mistakes. So let's check what's the output. Click on the view button. You see it is saying that no supplier is available, because I don't have any supplier right now. Okay, so first supplier, Daniel 0345-123-1231, address is, let's say, Karachi, and save. So you see the data has been successfully saved, but the problem is with some markup. Okay, edit button is there, but the other buttons are not coming. Data has been successfully inserted, it is the proof. Now let's check what's the problem inside the retrieve function. Retrieve, here we have retrieve, so input, okay, that's the problem, input tag is not open perfect, that's the problem. Save now, and let's click on the view button. Now see, the things are better. Okay, table, let's move the table to table active and table borderless, table hover, table light, view. Okay, so you can apply any bootstrap, no problem. Now let's first view and click on the edit. You see it's saying that please select any user first, but I have to call the retrieve function when somebody tries to click the edit button. Let me go and copy this retrieve and paste it inside the edit. So here I have to paste, save, retrieve. Now that's fine. So if somebody click on the view button and then edit, so now the data is there and the message is also there. You put this message inside a div so that it can also come within this domain. Now select Daniel and edit. Again here the copy paste problem. So let's go back to retrieve for edit, and here you see I skipped this bracket and one more. Yes, here we have, that's it. Save, come here and refresh, view, select your Daniel, edit. Now you see now. Okay, so I am changing it to 0000000 and update. So you see it is saying that incorrect number of arguments passed. Okay, so I haven't passed ID as a parameter. Let me go back for update code. Here inside the update I haven't passed the ID. That's what I have done the mistake. So my ID RB is inside the supplier ID, so let's pass here supplier ID, because where it should update, here it should update on this supplier ID. Now let's check. So view, Daniel, edit, change to 0000000 and update. You see Daniel updated successfully, data has been successfully loaded. And now let's try to delete here. So you see now data deleted successfully, and now no suppliers are available. I hope it is clear to everyone, guys. Now the next step and the final step is to call this supplier C.R.U.D in the admin dashboard, right? So let's add the hidden field again inside this. So input type equals to hidden, and see the starting lectures where I have done this navigation, okay, so that you will understand why I am using this hidden for navigation. So this time I am giving the value 3. Let's copy, and the name also. The name should be ID because I have used ID as a name. So name equals to ID. Okay, so copy. Else I have to pass find that form tags where you have specified the form tags. So here inside the retrieve, I have used the form tag. Just after this, let's add single quotes and put it inside echo. Inside double quotes, semicolon. Okay, so let's copy now. Input type equal to hidden, this one, and put it inside the form after this. Okay, save, and I think I have done with all. Now let's go to the admin DB, and the page name is suppliers C.R.U.D. So let's click on the source code and come here, and in the suppliers you see I have passed the ID as 3 as a get method, and when somebody click on the suppliers drop down, then the post method will come into the play. Okay, so here instead of users I have to write suppliers. If the spelling is correct, yes, spelling is correct. Now let's check what's the output. So you see roles, users, suppliers, view. So when I am clicking on the view, you see the data is there, and you see the things are perfectly working. Here I have to change the UI also. So that's all for today, guys. Hope you have learned how to add suppliers inside our inventory portal. Now in the next lecture we will see how to do some purchasing or the rest of the things that we have inside this project. So do try this thing by yourself, and if you do not understand anything, please do write me. Till then, thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.